Now that we're in the 10th frame too, I'm thinking about the 899 that was here as well. You know, that's the house record is 899, which is absolutely insane to need 36 to beat the house record by 1 pin. It's gonna be your old cliche. It was just like any other day, you know. Probably beforehand I was doing a little bit of coaching. You know, I remember throwing the Helios. I think I threw it about a game before that night. I remember really liking the shape. I liked the look of what that ball did. It almost hooked twice. That was a look that I remember seeing and I'm like, this ball is going to be good. Going forward to practice, I think I had 6 practice shots, 6 strikes. Felt good, felt loose. You know, there wasn't anything in particular that really struck me about that day about, you know, being special. I had 1 800 that year, but I didn't have any 300s to start that year going into November 16th. You know, it's like, okay, you're on the front 7, you're on the front 8, you're on the front 9 here now. You know, you're feeling good, you're going into the 10th and thinking, okay, I got a shot. Sometimes when you're throwing 300, at least for me, I don't want to throw the last shot. I'm fine with 11 in a row. Whether I shoot 300, whether I shoot 800, the nerves are still always there. Keep my feet slow, just give the ball a chance. There's a couple that I remember from that night where I know I aced. That one I don't think was an ace. That one was probably like a queen or a jack or something like that. There's a lot I feel like I left on the table in high school. I was always kind of a quiet, reserved kid when it came to bowling and that sort of thing. I'm the complete opposite when I'm a coach. You know, I'm the loudest one on our team. I encourage my kids to get fired up and get loud. It was 2020, we took 3rd. I had a lot of sophomores on the team. The year after, we took 2nd. After that, you're thinking, well, 3rd, 2nd, there's only one way to go but up. And then last year we were able to finally win the state championship. We all on our team knew that we were the favorites coming into that weekend, and they performed like it. They did what they needed to do.
2020, runners up in 2021, and state champions in 2022.
And just to kind of lead them through that, but also kind of have a hands-off approach because they've been there before, they know how to handle it. You know, you couple that with all the emotions that were going through everybody's heads, and that was just a phenomenal weekend. That's probably one of the best days, if not the best day of my life. You rattle off, you know, 12 in a row for the first game, you're thinking, this could be a good night. Nerves are still there, you know, you're still coming off a high, you're still shaking, so simmer down a little bit, calm down, and just trying to get up there and throw a good 13th shot. I had the front 27 one night for 879. Once we get into the latter part of game 2, I'm hoping to get past that 27 in a row. Once we get into the 10th frame, I think the first shot was okay. All of my 11 shots were absolutely terrible. But then my 12th shot for the second 300, I wouldn't say it was a bad shot off my hand. I might have been slow, might have hit up on it a little bit, went high, and the 4-pin, I swear, was standing there for 5 seconds. I don't remember if I put my head down or put my hands in my face, but I knew I got away with one there. We did not start this place. We bought this 2012, so we've been running this place for 11 years here now. Being able to help a lot of these kids that are coming through here is a lot of fun. The days now are not so fun when you're looking for help, and you know, my dad's here a long time. I mean, if he's here 16, 18 hours a day, I don't think anybody has an easy road in the bowling community. Whether you look at the guys that are on tour, whether you look at the proprietor, whether you look at the people that are making the bowling balls and the salesmen and people that sign all the staff and the staffers, everybody grinds. Everybody puts in their time, puts in their hours. Opening the pro shop was stressful. You know, really just sitting down and researching ball layouts and what this does and what that does. I've had a couple people that have shot their first 300 games with me, and that is a really, really special feeling in seeing that, because if you shot 300, you know what that feeling is like, and you want to help replicate that feeling to whoever you can, to have them feel that feeling as well, I think is something that's special, and I think something that I think all pro shop operators would agree on, in the fact that, you know, that's a really, really special feeling. Yeah, my dad had 300, didn't even shoot 800 one night. So, and there was actually, now that we're talking about that, there was actually the house record before this was the 899 that happened on 11 and 12 as well. So to get to that point, you know, I'm just thinking about just throwing a best shot and giving it a chance. That's pretty much what's going through my head the last game, is just give it a chance. My teammates mentioned that I started kind of shutting down a little bit once I got to like the 7th or 8th frame of the last game. Just trying to kind of stay focused, staying with my process, really trying to stay in my pre-shot routine. That's a different set of nerves. That's not even the nerve, that's the whole nervous system. When you're younger, your imagination really takes hold. Okay, I need these 3 strikes in the 10th to win the Masters. I need these 3 strikes to beat Norm Duke, your idol, Wes Malott. You don't ever put yourself in the position of, okay, I need these 3 strikes to shoot 900. When you're on the front 11, sometimes you don't even want to throw the last shot because you're content with 11. I get up there and I'm content with the front 33. And I remember just completely acing the shot off my hand. I mean, that was the best shot I threw all night, was for the 34th. I would say that, a lot of these people here don't really necessarily know the history of 900s and how rare 900s are and that sort of thing. So people are excited, but they're not to the point where they realize how significant this could potentially be. At the same time, now that we're in the 10th frame too, I'm thinking about the 899 that was here as well. That's the house record, is 899, which is absolutely insane. To need 36 to beat the house record by 1 pin in every single game. 11 shot in the first game, terrible. 11 shot second game, terrible. This one was no different. This one was awful. I pulled it in. It was a little fast as well. The ball hit the pocket. It deflected. And I remember the only 2 things that I see is an 8-pin and a 10-pin. If I would have left a pocket 8-10 on the front 34, I can't imagine how much crap I would have gotten. The feeling in the pit of my stomach when I saw that 8-10 standing there was borderline embarrassing. I think I just kind of put my head down and shake. Like, I should not have gotten away with that. I thank God for that break, because that was a huge break. Go through my pre-shot routine, pick the ball up, wipe the ball off until I don't really see any more oil, and then I'll wipe the bottom of my heel off and get up there and stand up there to attempt at throwing 36. I'm physically shaking at this point. And I remember after going through my pre-shot routine, just stand up on the approach, exactly where you want to stand, and the line that was going through my head was just give it a chance. I remember thinking up there, which way am I going to walk? Because obviously you're going for 900, you got to walk it out, right? I pry the shot off my hand, start walking left, threw it really, really well, and I just remember thinking, please don't overhook, please don't overhook. I remember thinking I want to go over and give my dad a hug, because I remember when I shot my first 300, I remember he's going to hate me for saying this. I remember him crying. He's coached me for a long time. He's seen me grow. I wanted to kind of share this moment with my dad, so kind of went through all the high fives and tried to find my dad and give him a hug. I don't think he was really having any of it. I think he was just focused on the camera and not putting it down or not. But I wanted to go up and give him a hug, because I knew the significance of what just happened. I'm pretty much on my phone the rest of the night. I think I'm sending Matt a couple different texts as well. I'm sending a bunch of other people texts. I just remember getting everything done here and going home and laying in bed, and that's finally when I had the real moment of just realizing what had happened and finally starting to try to come down off the high. I remember shaking so uncontrollably after that happened, and I could barely hold my phone to my ear because I'm shaking. The run of emotions that were going through my head at that point was unbelievable. Yeah, I would say one of the things that was more memorable was the fact that I had a text from Stephanie Johnson, who works with Rotogrip. Hey, Schlem wants to do an interview with you. Schlem is a really, really intelligent guy and obviously the reason for the Helios. So I was really excited and couldn't say yes fast enough to Stephanie. I also don't want to just be someone that shot 900 as well. There's still a lot of stuff I think is on the table and stuff that I can't write out just because I shot 900. You know, and obviously you shoot 900 on a league shot, people think you're a house hack too. I just want to keep going out and competing and proving myself to prove the fact that that isn't just the one thing that I did. I also did these things to prove that I'm not just a house hack, I can actually throw the ball. Obviously, first and foremost, I have to thank my parents. I have to thank the coaches who brought me up. I mean, I worked with a few different coaches throughout my junior league career. My girlfriend, Sarah, was obviously a huge support system for me, especially when, you know, the attention was maybe a little bit too much for me. She really helped kind of calm me down and simmer me down and help my head fit between the doors as well. You know, have to thank Storm and I Am Bowling. They're the reason that I was able to do that, especially in Storm for making the Helios and Matt for signing me and Brian Cooper for bringing me on with I Am Bowling. I mean, we would be recording for hours for me trying to thank everybody that has had an impact on it. But just know that if I didn't say your name, I absolutely appreciate all of your love and support. And you know, I wouldn't have been here without you guys.